2020 was a year that I don't think any of us saw coming. Collectively, we all had to learn how to live new versions of our lives, and I was definitely no stranger to that. In this video, I want to talk about some of the most valuable lessons I learned, some of my favorite clips and photos that I took, and the mindset that I'm taking into 2021. The end of the year always gets me pretty introspective, and I love making these little recaps of the year, and I think it's important to look back and remember everything, and to use that to plan for the future. My friends over at Goose asked me a question. In a year where things are distanced and traditions are being completely redefined, how am I making the most and the best of my holidays and the remaining days in the year? So we're gonna try something a little different this year. Viv and I have never done this, but we're gonna sit down, we're gonna do a little holiday podcast. I'm gonna make us a couple drinks. We're gonna sit down and just chat about our year. So we're gonna be making a classic Grey Goose and cranberry. It's one of our favorites. It's super simple and quick, just 1.5 parts Grey Goose to 2 parts cranberry. You can check out the Grey Goose YouTube channel below and learn how to make a ton of different holiday drinks, including this one. Cheers. The Holiday Show, episode 1, only happens once a year.
It's like a holiday card on YouTube.
Exactly. So you've been in a lot of videos, but I think this is the first time you're like talking on the channel. Introduce yourself.
You get to hear my voice.
Yeah.
I'm Vivian. I am Tyler's girlfriend, but I'm also a writer, a mental health advocate, and a content creator. So, I mean, we do a lot of work together and a lot of brainstorming together, but our worlds are kind of very...
Yeah, we keep everything pretty separate. Mm-hmm. I pulled a bunch of questions from Instagram on different things about like my life up to this point. The question I saw the most was, why Oregon and do you miss New York? I know that I miss elements of New York. Every time I see a photo of New York come up on Instagram or something, I'm like, like I miss home, especially when I see our neighborhood. I don't miss like New York itself right now. Like I think we were both so fried after what this year kind of brought that neither one of us really wanted to stay in New York anymore.
There's so much about it that was anxiety inducing for me that I didn't realize until we moved here. Yep. And I could walk outside and suddenly that's like, oh, I'm not super like anxious when I walk outside. It's quieter. I'm not overstimulated. New York has an overstimulation that can motivate your career and you as a person. And now I get to like think about other things, which is fun. And honestly, I think it has allowed me to even be more creative and just put myself outside of that bubble, literally.
For me, I feel like I just have so many less distractions. I think opportunities can be like a good like sub-placement for distractions a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like it was really difficult to find focus and like get things done in New York sometimes. Creatively, there's like so many new things I've explored since getting out here. Like I've come to find I actually am really into like landscape photography, when before I was like, oh no, I'm urban, like I want to be in the city and stuff like that.
I think that there's something in that slowness that allows you to create a lot more. And like to your point, like the distractions, New York is made on who you know, who you see, where you're going, what you're doing. And when that checklist of like RSVP stopped rolling in because then all the things, you realize like, wait, I'm not actually being as productive as much as I'm just being seen everywhere.
How are you making the best of the holidays? And I sort of want to shift that into like, we're making the best of the holidays. We're starting new traditions where both of us are super far away from our families. This is the first time we're just like completely on this new place. We're making a holiday podcast. Like we're doing fun things, but I think we've made the best of a year in a lot of ways. It was not an easy year by any means, but we added a dog, we moved, like there were so many good things. So how do you think you've made the best of the year and the holidays?
So I think for me, like the making new traditions part has always been like a really big role in how I find hope and joy in the holidays. I lost my mom when I was 10 and my grandma raised me, and then she passed away when I was 21. So the holidays have always, for the last 18 years, been incredibly hard for me because they're just a sad time as well. Finding what the best looks like changes every single year, and I try not to like punish myself if the thing that worked last year doesn't work this year.
But it was a great year to, I think, audit everything that you're keeping in your life, not only in just like every day, but how you want to live your holidays. And I think that's a big thing like this entire year has taught me, and it's a big lesson I want to take into next year. It was like, if I don't want something in my life, I don't want to let that take up space in my life. What do you think the biggest lesson you learned from 2020 is?
I think I learned to not chase my anxiety. You know, this year proved that there's just so much that can cause anxiety and make you go down that spiral. And if you can find things that you can hold on to stop that from happening, like those are the things you have to hold on to more. So I think I just learned to be more patient with myself and to actually give myself the things I need.
I think for me, it was like giving up the idea of expectation when it comes to anything. At the beginning of the year, I was traveling a ton. We were in Europe, we were in London for a month. I mean, it was just, we were like going. And then March hit, and I remember I landed back in New York a few days before borders started closing. I mean, at the time I was like, oh, the next month is gonna be tough. And then all of a sudden it transformed into like, wow, this year is not gonna play out at all how I planned. So let me figure out what I need in my own life, what I can give to the world, and tried to focus more on me and foundation. And it was the first time that I like slowed the down in 5 years. And even though I have so many big ambitious plans that I wanna kick off, you know, like January 1st, like something out of my control could happen and like not have that. And so learning to be able to roll with the punches is a skill that I think is underrated. I think social media and like online presence, and everyone's trying so hard to make it look like they have their shit together, and I think none of us actually do. Like we're all building every single day, and so whatever it looks like whatever you're consuming, take it with a grain of salt. The Holiday Show, episode 1 in the books. I'll see you here, same place, same time next year.
Also tonight for dinner.
This year taught me a lot about letting go of control and really just learning how little control we actually have over our everyday lives. And maybe whenever things get shaken up like this, it can be a good thing. It can show us how precious life is and how we should eliminate everything around us and leave only the best. I hope you guys had an amazing holiday and you're having an amazing new year. I can't wait to create with you in 2021. It's gonna be our best year yet. I've got a lot planned. I'll see you soon.